Every cycle, people say that Litecoin is dead, but every cycle, those people are proven wrong. In this video, I'm going to talk about why Litecoin always lags the price of Bitcoin, but explodes quickly once money starts to flow into the project. I'm also going to discuss some potential price targets for this coin for 2026 and back my thesis with some bullish catalysts. But before I get into all that, guys, this is Royalty Crypto, and if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do me a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. Your guys' support is greatly appreciated, and it's what keeps me coming back each and every day with fresh content for you guys. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. As you guys can see, Litecoin is currently trading at $77 and has a market cap just shy of $6 billion. And when you zoom out on the 1-year chart, you can see that we are basically trading at yearly lows for this project. Now, although that might discourage some of you from wanting to invest into a coin like Litecoin, I think that it should actually do the opposite, because whenever we see weakness in strong altcoins like Litecoin, it is actually the time to be accumulating, in my opinion. Of course, I never give financial advice in any of my videos, so please make sure to make that decision on your own, but that is what I've personally been doing. Also, guys, you can see that the volume has recently spiked significantly for Litecoin, as we are up nearly 60% in the past 24 hours, and we've had $1.25 billion traded in that period of time. This is a very high trading volume, and I do believe that the reason this is taking place is because we've seen a significant pump in Bitcoin for the last couple of days. Now, if you guys understand how liquidity flows through the crypto market, you would understand why we've yet to see a recovery for Litecoin. This is because money always flows into the safest asset first, and that asset in crypto is Bitcoin. And you can see that phase 1 is when money starts to flow into Bitcoin, causing a price surge. Phase 2, however, is when Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin and people start talking about how Ethereum could flip Bitcoin. We have yet to see that happen, in my opinion, but I do expect that to happen at some point this year. Now, phase 3 is where I think that Litecoin falls, and that is when Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin and large caps start to go parabolic. So going on back to the Litecoin chart, we have yet to see a strong rally for this coin. But if Bitcoin can actually push towards all-time high and people start to forget about the 4-year halving cycle and FOMO back in, that is when I reasonably expect Litecoin to go on a parabolic run. So with all that being said, right now could be your last time to accumulate this project at a discount. Also, there has been a narrative in crypto for a very long time that investing into Bitcoin is like investing into gold, and investing into Litecoin is like investing into silver. Now, as most of you know, the precious metal space has been going insanely parabolic for the past couple of weeks. So if that truly is the case, then you can reasonably expect these charts to be similar. Say that Bitcoin goes on a very parabolic run in the next couple of months, pushing up to somewhere between 140 to 180k. That could look similar to the gold chart, where gold actually went parabolic from August to about October of last year. But when you go on over to the silver chart, you can see that silver did do decent during that time, but it didn't have its parabolic run until November, and that run is still taking place as we speak. So is it possible that this same thing could play out on this chart? I definitely think it is, especially if people start to compare silver with Litecoin yet again. We could see the price of Litecoin start to pump very quickly, and if you're currently on the sidelines, you could be caught off guard. The last thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of Litecoin's price is a potential price target for 2026. As you can see here, we topped in terms of market cap on this coin in 2021, and we hit a market cap of 23 billion. Now, I understand that the crypto market was incredibly parabolic back then, and we were in the midst of the expansion phase of the business cycle. However, guys, I do believe that this will take place again because of the fact that we are going into the expansion phase for the business cycle as we speak. I talk about this in basically every single one of my videos, so I don't want to go too into detail today because I don't want to be repetitive. But guys, if the Fed continues to pump money back into our economy, I do believe that that will create a positive liquidity event that could cause Litecoin to see a similar run that it had in 2021 at some point this year. Now, I will say the layer 1 space was significantly less competitive back in 2021, so it is possible that it could be difficult for Litecoin to reach these these levels. However, I do expect that we will get to around a $25 to $30 billion market cap for this coin. At least that is my most bullish price prediction. Of course, it is always possible that we could get to around a $15 to $20 billion market cap and then have a pullback from there. So it is very important to take profits on the way up. I cannot stress that enough. But if we are able to get to a $30 billion market cap, that is about a 5.5x on your money from here, and Litecoin would be sitting at around $500 per coin. So buying down here at $77 could be a fantastic potential opportunity. All right, guys, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about in terms of Litecoin is a new partnership that they have with American Fortress to launch a new privacy-focused wallet. This is a very bullish thing in my opinion because the privacy narrative in crypto has been extremely hot recently. We've seen coins like Zcash and ICP see parabolic pumps in the past couple of months because of this. So if Litecoin can shift some of their attention to privacy, that could end up helping this project regain a lot of traction and overall FOMO for the market. And of course, the more people that are FOMOing into a project, the better it is for the overall price. All right, now last but not least, I wanted to talk about a piece of news that has created quite a bit of volatility in the past couple of weeks, and that is the Supreme Court trying to make their decision on Trump's tariffs. Now, we were supposed to see a ruling last Friday from the Supreme Court, and they ended up kicking the can down the road until today. And then yet again this morning, the Supreme Court decided not to issue a ruling on Trump's tariffs, and they have not given us much information on when that ruling will take place. Now, in my opinion, I think that this is better than them ruling against the tariffs because I do believe that that would create a lot of uncertainty for markets, and markets hate uncertainty. So we'll just have to continue to monitor this situation. And I did see this. I don't know if this is true or if this is just a rumor, but apparently the Supreme Court could end up delaying its decision until June. Now, in my opinion, this could actually be a somewhat positive thing for us because it at least kind of clears the runway for the next couple of months for crypto to potentially go on a parabolic run, and that is not the worst thing in my opinion. However, we'll just have to see what ends up coming out of this, and it sucks that we are constantly having to deal with these negative macro events, but hopefully soon these things will start to clear up because not only has this been adding uncertainty to markets, but also the Iran and Greenland situation as well. And of course, as you guys know, if anything very negative comes out of these events, it could cause negative price action for crypto. So keep your fingers crossed that these things start to resolve themselves in a peaceful manner. But alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed the content, and I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.